The Duke of Silesia was the sons and descendants of the Polish Duke Bolesław III Wrymouth, in accordance with the last will and testament of Bolesław. Upon his death his lands were divided into 4 or 5 hereditary provinces distributed among his sons, and a royal province of Kraków reserved for the eldest, who was to be High Duke of all Poland. This was known as the fragmentation of Poland. Subsequent developments lead to further splintering of the duchies. At the beginning of the 14th century, 14 independent duchies existed in Silesia: Brzeg, Wrocław, Świdnica, Jawor, Ziębice, Głogów, Ścinawa, Żagan and Oleśnica in Lower Silesia, Koźle, Cieszyn, Bytom, Niemodlin, Opole, Strzelce, Racibórz and Opava in Upper Silesia, and the ecclesiatical duchy of Nysa. Between 1327 and 1329 most dukes accepted the overlordship of Bohemian King John of Bohemia, who acquired the right of succession for all of these duchies. In the coming centuries all branches of the Silesian Piasts died out, and with the death of George William, Duke of Legnitz, the dynasty ceased to exist. Duchy of Silesia. The Duchy of Silesia, one of the hereditary provinces of Poland, Silesia, was granted to Bolesław II's eldest son, Władysław II the Exile, and was subsequently divided among his sons Bolesław the Tall, Wrocław, Lower Silesia, Mieszko I Tanglefoot, Racibórz, Upper Silesia, and Konrad Spindleshanks, Głogów. After Konrad's death, Głogów was again united with the Duchy of Wrocław, Lower Silesia. Dukes of Silesia equals Piast dynasty equals partitions of Silesia. In 1173 Bolesław returned and he agreed to let Mieszko and Bolesław rule in their own duchies, separated from the Duchy of Silesia. This led to the creation of the Duchy of Racibórz for Mieszko I and the Duchy of Opole for Bolesław, beginning the fragmentation of the Duchy of Silesia. The territories controlled by Mieszko I and Bolesław roughly corresponded to what is known as Upper Silesia, while the territories remaining with Bolesław roughly corresponded to Lower Silesia. Lower Silesia equals Duchy of Lower Silesia was a direct continuation of the Duchy of Silesia, but without the territories roughly corresponding to Upper Silesia. Hence it was composed of the territories roughly corresponding to Lower Silesia. Some sources refer to it as the Duchy of Silesia, some as Duchy of Lower Silesia, others yet as the Duchy of Wrocław. Breslau. Wrocław was the capital of the Duchy of Silesia. Yet, this early, 1172 to 1248, Duchy of Silesia should not be confused with the smaller Duchy of Wrocław that was created with further fragmentation in 1248. The duchy went through various border changes in the coming years, sometimes losing and sometimes gaining territory. In 1248 Lower Silesia was divided when Bolesław II had to cede the Duchy of Wrocław to his younger brother Henry III. Duchy of Lower Silesia. In 1248, the Duchy of Lower Silesia was partitioned in the Duchies of Wrocław and Legnica. Duchy of Wrocław, Duchy of Legnica. In 1251, in Lower Silesia, the Duchy of Głogów emerged from Wrocław. Duchy of Głogów. In 1274, the Duchy of Świdnica emerged from Legnica. In the same year, the Duchy of Żagan emerged from Głogów. Duchy of Świdnica Duchy of Żagan. In 1311, the Duchy of Brzeg emerged from Legnica. Duchy of Brzeg. In 1313, the Duchy of Oleśnica emerged from Głogów. Duchy of Oleśnica. In 1322, the Duchy of Ziębice emerged from Świdnica Jawor. Duchy of Ziębice equals Dukes of Lower Silesia equals Piast dynasty equals Upper Silesia equals Upper Silesia was divided into the duchies of Cieszyn and Opole, Racibórz, In 1340 the Duchy of Racibórz was united with Opava, a Bohemian fief. Duchy of Opole Racibórz. In 1281, the Duchy of Cieszyn is created. Duchy of Cieszyn. In 1282, the Duchies of Opole and Racibórz were created from the partition of the Duchy of Opole Racibórz. With this partition, it was created also the Duchy of Bytom. Duchy of Opole, Duchy of Racibórz, Duchy of Bytom. In 1315, the Duchy of Oswiecim emerged from the Duchy of Cieszyn. Duchy of Oswiecim. In 1445, the Duchy of Zeta emerged from the Duchy of Oswiecim. Duchy of Zeta equals Dukes of Upper Silesia equals Piast dynasty equals ecclesiastical Duchy of Nysa equals established in 1290 by High Duke Henry IV Probus, held by the bishops of Wrocław. 1302–1319 Henry of Wiebno. 1326–1341 Nankia. 1342–1376 Preclaw of Pogorel. 1382–1417 Wenceslaus II of Legnica. 1417–1447 Conrad IV of Oleśnica. 1447–1456 Peter II Novak. 1456–1467 Jost of Rosemarberg. 1468–1482 Rudolf of Rudesheim. 1482–1506 Jan IV Roth. 1506–1520 Jan V Thurzo. 1520–1539 Jacob of Sulzer. 1539–1562 Balthazar of Promnitz. 1562–1574 Caspar of Logau. 1574–1585 Martin Gussmann. 1585–1596 Andreas Geron. 1596–1599 Bonaventura Hahn. 1599–1600 Paul Albert of Radolfzell. 1600–1608 Jan VI of Sich. 1608–1624 Charles of Austria, son of Charles II, Archduke of Austria. 1625–1655 Karol Ferdinand Vasa, Duke of Opole from 1648. 1656–1662 Leopold Wilhelm of Habsburg. 1663–1664 Charles Joseph of Habsburg, also Grand Master of the Teutonic Order from 1662. 1665–1671 Sebastian von Rostock. 1671–1682 Frederick of Hesse-Darmstadt. 1683–1732 Franz Ludwig von Pfalz-Neuburg. 1732–1747 Philipp Ludwig von Zinzendorf. Major part annexed by the Kingdom of Prussia after the First Silesian War in 1742. 1747–1795 Philipp Gotthard von Schaffgotsch. 1795–1817 Joseph Christian Franz zu Hohenlohe-Waldenburg-Bartenstein. Prussian part secularized in 1810. 1823–1832 Emanuel von Szymanski. 1835–1840 Leopold von Sedelmitsky. 1843–1844 Joseph Nauer. 1845–1850 Melchior von Diepenbrock. Theocracy abolished in 1850. See also List of Polish rulers. Piast dynasty. Dukes of Masovia. Dukes of Greater Poland. Dukes of Little Poland. Dukes of Kuyavia. Dukes of Sieradz-Lechica. References. Neue Deutsche Biography. Berlin 2001. BD. 20. p. 403–407. Myers-Gross's Conversations Lexicon. Leipzig 1905–1909. BD. 17. p. 845–847. Sites. http://www.tacitus. New Historical Atlas, Regents, Poland, Silesia. HTM.